think will quit?
The score.
Who do you think will quit? You're wrong. You're going to get the shock of your life.
No, it's better to burn out than fade away.
There we go.
He is not elite yet. Tell me one elite fighter he's beat.
You want to see what the Silk said?
Yes.
I don't know whether to float or gloat.
What size feet is he, Ben?
Hello and welcome to Sugar, Silk and Stretch, arguably the best boxing podcast in the world. Right now, as you can see with the plain evidence of your eyes, I don't have Silk and Stretch right now, but I am delighted to be joined by author, singer, actor, producer, writer, director, and burgeoning Philadelphia boxing MC extraordinaire, Terrance The Dream Tykeem. Thank you for coming, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're more than welcome. I'm glad you had me on here, man, Ben, for sure.
I tried to cover as many of your competencies as possible in that intro. Did I get them all? Did I
you did a good job, actually.
Yeah.
You actually somehow I remembered all of that.
So before we talk more intricately, Gary Stretch is waiting. You see that, Terrance? Gary Stretch, like a true pro, he's waiting in the background in case we need him. We could use you, Gary, because the Silk is not even here, but maybe come in the next 5 or 10 minutes or something, Gary. But I'm going to introduce Terrance to the audience in a way that I feel is quite graphic before we start talking and getting into your boxing story and what you've been involved in recently and the exciting projects we are looking forward to. So this is Terrance doing his thing as an MC. He's increasingly getting work out of Philly, possibly the world's first boxing city, if you want to get technical, and other shows around the East Coast and even on the West Coast. I believe you've got this little thing trademarked. Here it is.
Yeah, y'all ready? Let's do it. It's time to brawl, y'all. Let DC make some noise. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
All right, Tykeem the Dream thing.
There we go. That was you.
Yes, sir.
It's like a kind of it's kind of more kind of mobo, black influence hip hop kind of take on the Michael Buffer histrionics, arguably. I don't know how it came about. I believe you have trademarked it though. Yeah.
We trademarked it. And I don't know if George told you this, Ben, but this whole thing came about by accident.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, George had plugged me in to do the because I do films and things like that and TV ads and things. George plugged me in to do the commercial for the Golden Gloves because last year, 2023, was the 100th year anniversary. So I did their commercial for them, the national and a local version. And after I did the ad, I used the Let's Get Ready to Rumble in the ad, and everybody was like, "Oh no, whoa, you can't use that. You can't."
Yeah,
use
he's trademarked the hell out of that, Terrance.
Yeah, and you said the right thing, the hell out of it. You can't use that thing for nothing. So what happened, Ben, was I needed to put something in that spot. So I did a song with my son called "It's Time to Ball," and my cousin said, "Why don't you take the ball out and put the brawl in there?" And he said, and just add something else at the end of it. And I came up with the y'all, and before I know it was "It's time to brawl, y'all," and I did it, and I put it. And George set it up for me to go to one of the actual Golden Glove matches, and I went there, Ben, and I did it in the ring, and the people just responded. So I gave it to the people at Golden Gloves, and they said, "Oh my God, we love it." So they brought me in for the 25th anniversary. They used it in the ad and used me at and they've been. And George, but Ben, George had to talk me into doing it because he was trying to get me to do it at fights. And I was like, at the time, I wasn't really sure how to really do it.
Did you feel it wasn't because obviously you're a cerebral guy, and I listed the fact, director, writer, singer, producer. Did you feel it was a bit lowbrow, even possibly for yourself at the time?
Yeah, it really was because I had to build. If you notice, I built. I don't know if you've seen the whole thing, but I do this pre-intro. And then I do it, and then I do an outro for it. Because it had to be structured the right way to make sure that I'm able to get the crowd to be totally engaged. So I had to rework it. So I told George, I said, "Bro, all I have right now is just me saying that. I need to find some kind of way to structure something before that
to get in and out of the middle." Yeah, I can't exactly just say that. Yeah. You
can't just say that. Yeah. So that's what I ended up doing. I built a whole structure around it, and now whenever I do it, I do it. The whole thing is 45 seconds long. And between 30 and 45 seconds. and it just really gravitates with the people. And my voice is already, because I sing, and I sing from my diaphragm, from my stomach, from my gut. My voice is already one of those kind of voices that really carry. So I was able to do it, and now every time I do it, it's like the crowd really responds, and now people are starting to say it along with me at fights.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's about capturing that energy, you know, because it's interesting, the whole cult of the MC, the master of ceremonies over the
That's
years,
right.
isn't it?
That's
Right
right.
now, Buffer is still the king, and Buffer will still be that guy that David
Oh yeah.
Diamante may do most of the card, and he may even do the semi wind-up. But when you get, usually from the semi wind-up to the main event, it's Buffer suddenly comes in place. So he is still the king of
That's right.
MCs. But
Right.
it's funny how it's evolved over the years, because Diamante, and I'll say David Diamante is a very nice fella. He's a decent guy. I like him a lot. But I
I
don't.
just left him. I just left him just now.
Did you really? Because
Yeah, I was just with him just now.
God, that's crazy. Because I'm not in love with his style. I'll be honest. For me, it's a bit over some of it. All this. I said the time is now, and all the rest of it. You know, that's a bit a little much for me when you compare it to the classic tones of Jimmy Lennon Jr., you know, who was obviously more understated. Or if you go
Yeah,
back
he
to the
said it's
1980s,
time. It's time. Yeah.
yeah, or Chuck Hull. Remember Chuck Hull in the 1980s, who would do Hagler Duran, Hagler Leonard, and Marvin Hagler versus
Oh yeah,
Sonny
yeah. Oh
Holmes.
yeah.
He was he had the frilly shirt and the tuxedo, but
Yep.
he was very crisp and even. There wasn't really any showbiz and histrionics, but but it felt right in the era.
It
And then
felt good.
obviously
Yep.
you go back to Joe Lewis's era, you had that guy called Bella and Joe Humphreys, and you know the microphone would come up like about 50 feet out of the sky. It seemed at Madison Square Garden, where they would lower it all the way down. This
Oh
little microphone on
yeah.
the string, and it was. And you know that was interesting because I should have got a clip of it when Joe Lewis fought Max Baer, I think it was. It said, "Please let this fight be decided on quality and not race," or something like that.
Oh wow.
Which is kind of a stunning social document in itself, an audio social document. That he said, "Please don't decide this or base your allegiances on race," as we're about to get ready for this
Oh
fight.
wow.
You
That's
know.
wait. He said that in the ring.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a clip, you know, I'm gonna find it and send it to you later. It was
Oh
either
yeah,
Max
send me
Baer,
that, please.
it was either Max Baer versus Primo Carnera. Sorry, it was either Joe Lewis versus Primo Carnera or Joe Lewis versus Max Baer. Two of his notable KO wins on the road to becoming a champion.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna find it for you for sure, because
Oh please do, Ben. I would love to see that.
for sure. So, but regardless, I feel, Terrance, I would like to talk a little bit about your boy and his homecoming tomorrow night, Jaron
Yeah.
Boots Ennis, who
Yeah.
defends. He gets a substitute challenger in David
Yeah, I
Avanesyan.
was kind of fun. Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. Because they was promoting it with the other guy. Then they just switched it with this guy.
Cody Crowley, yeah.
Aviani.
But you know, for UK fans, we find it a more interesting fight. We're more into the substitute opponent because we know Avanesyan can fight because he's British based. He
Mhm.
is managed and trained by a friend of mine called Carl Greaves, who was a decent
Okay.
level professional boxer himself back in the day.
Oh
And
wow.
I've seen Avanesyan in the gym. I've seen him sparring, and he's almost considered almost semi-invincible at European level. He's
Oh,
obviously
good on you.
he got stopped in 6 rounds by Terrance Crawford back in December 2022. But
Yeah.
Avanesyan is no joke. He can fight and he will be coming to win. I understand that Boots has got the style and profile and looks a bit special, but he doesn't. He has at least a tougher fight with the substitute as he does with the original challenger Cody Crowley. But I talked to you guys in Philly, like George Hansen has been telling me for years that Boots is the best fighter pound for pound in the world. Are you as high on him as George?
Uh, not as high as George is, but I see where George is coming from because this guy is. You got to remember, it's his pedigree. He's like his brothers, his father. You know what I'm saying? He come from that pedigree. But I don't. I'm probably not as high on him as George. George thinks that he's the second coming. You know, I mean, of Muhammad. You know,
George has
Muhammad
never been
Ali.
known to underestimate things that he gets enthusiastic about, to be fair. George is a master of hyperbole himself, and nobody can big you up like George can. And I know exactly what you
Yeah. We do. Hey, we definitely talking about the same guy.
yeah. But like I said, because Ennis does look special. I mean, he's a switch hitter, he's a good puncher, he's a fluid boxer, he's a reflex fighter, he's got feel, he's got boxing IQ, he's got rhythm, he's got movement, he's got hand speed. He can, like I say, he can do it ambidextrous out of both stances. But were you going to say?
So let me ask you, Ben. So do you? So, wait a minute. Are you saying that you think this guy got a shot at winning that fight?
I don't expect him to win, but what I say is he will push him. I mean,
Oh,
he pushed Terrance
okay.
Crawford. All right, he was out of there by the 6th round with Terrance Crawford, but he came to win, and he pushed Terrance hard while he was in there. You know, right? Sometimes you can go 12 rounds with a negative mindset. Sometimes with a
Oh
certain
yeah.
guy not wanting
Oh
to
yeah.
engage, and you can put up a worse show than a guy that went out on his shield in 6
That's
rounds.
right. That's right.
That is
That's
a
right.
fact thing,
Yeah.
bro. So
Yeah.
David has a weird rhythm. You know, these fighters that are hard to time and to figure out because they do things just in a strange timing. They throw strange shapes and combinations, and they don't do predictable things. They're a bit herky jerky. He's got relentless stamina, David Avanesyan. He punches pretty hard, but he's got relentless work rate, and he's very
That's good.
awkward. He's very awkward, you know. So I mean, I saw Derek Bosey Ennis saying, my kid will take him out whenever he feels like it, 3 or 4 rounds. We're going to see
Yeah.
how we feel
Yeah.
and see how much he's enjoying himself. But they're predicting that the Boots will finish him when he wants to. But I'm not sure it'll be quite that simple, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you saying there's going to be a tougher fight than what they think it's going to be?
It could be a tougher fight, but like I say, I think thing with Boots is he's super talented, right? Is it fair to say, because what my problem with modern boxing is, you get a guy like Boots, and he would have had to have fought Crawford back in the day, and that would have been a mouthwatering matchup. Would it have come too soon for him? Would there have been a deposition or a retaining of the crown? We don't know, but it would have been one hell of a as Gary in the waiting room. Sorry, Gary, I'm going to get into you, but. These days, he fights Roman Villa. He gets for an interim title. He gets upgraded to full champion. So we don't really. It's fair to say that he hasn't really beaten anybody of major note yet. Boots, right? He just looks super sensational. He's 31-0 with 28 KOs. Fair to say he hasn't beaten anybody of major league right now.
I mean, well, not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's the biggest win he has on his jacket. I can't really say who's the biggest. I mean, you might know more than I do.
Well, I would say. By the way, Gary, where are you then? You just come in, Gary, and now there's a black screen. At the risk of being irreverent, this is not Black Lives Matter. This is just a podcast, Gary. So let's see you. I'm glad that Tom said that in the right spirit. I'm glad I got away with that one. It was just a bit of banter, but Gary, he's going to try and come in again at some point. No, I would say maybe Roman Villa is. I mean, I would ask the fans that question. People who are tuning in now and making comments.
Yeah, maybe they can say who. Yeah, maybe the people watching can say who was the biggest fight he fought. But I mean, but you got to remember, he's demolished everybody he's fought so far. So, at some point, well, you know how it is, Ben. The competition level has to go up at some point anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's the how matters as well as the who. It does. The
who
does matter.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you can't get in with somebody that don't got a track record and let the person go the distance. You
can. I remember somebody saying Artur Beterbiev doesn't rank anywhere on the scale of great light heavyweights because look at his opposition. But I remember a guy, I think it was Matthew Aguilar, who's a reasonably well-known American boxing writer, who said the how matters as well. It's the dominance. Right. You can say Larry Holmes didn't beat any Hall of Famers and he was around in a relatively weak era, but Larry was so dominant and so good. Sometimes you've got to use your common sense and you've got to use your eyes when it comes to evaluating boxing. And that's obviously right. Terrance Ennis comes out very highly when you use that yardstick. And, I'm sure, I imagine Boots, I mean, presumably you know him to some degree. I know I don't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm always, we like I've been at the gym with him a lot and we did a couple of events with those guys and things like that. So yeah, like being around him, he's such a good kid though, man. He's like as a person, you can't find a better person as in boxing. I mean, Boots is a really good kid, man. And, so he comes from that. And the good thing about it is that the fact of him being a good kid, he's backing it up with his hands. So it's a beautiful thing, man. He can back it up with, he don't got to run his mouth. He go in that ring and he back it up with his fist. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. But I'm glad you think, man, that it's going to be a major fight, a more tougher fight than what we probably think it's going to be.
Let me ask the original prototype for Oscar De La Hoya before there was an Oscar De La Hoya what he thinks at this stage of Terrance Boots Ennis.
Hey, my
Mr.
friend,
Stretch,
how are you?
the floor is yours.
Hey, how are you, Stretch?
I'm okay, brother. How are you? Good.
I'm good.
I took a backward seat because I figured your life's very interesting and I didn't want too many people talking. So
okay, yeah.
But seeing how the Silk's late as ever, I thought I'd come on and say hello.
Okay. for sure. For
So
sure.
where do you stand on Ennis these days, Gary? I mean, Jaron Boots Ennis, is he your cup of tea? Are you a believer right now, or a jury out?
Absolutely my cup of tea. I think he's super talented, super like your man says, he's a beautiful person who seems very grounded, very good ambassador. But he's a beautiful fighter, reflex, big puncher, elusive. I mean, he's got everything. I think his era is coming up, and what's good about Boots also, I think he can slide between a few weights and make. He's putting up a few. I think after this fight, because like you say, this guy's a very, very good opponent for anybody, and if Boots is not on his game, but I don't see him having any chance with Boots. I mean, there's always a fight. It's two people in there, but I think Boots is super, super talented. I think this will be probably the hello to the world for Boots and welcome into the big party league. I think he's with Barry Hearn now, right?
Yeah. He's with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn. So I was with Barry Hearn promoted a couple of my fights, but I think the Saudis. I think everyone will see this fight, and I think he'll get put into the mix now, and he's one of the ones to watch for sure. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How much excitement is there in Philly around the homecoming of their world champion defending his title in the city?
Hey, this you gotta remember, this is the first time we've had a fight of this magnitude in this city like this. Like it's been a long time, I guess, since the Tyson fight, because I think he fought one of the guys down there at the Spectrum. It was called and it wasn't the Spectrum there. I think it was called the
Blue Horizon. Blue Horizon.
No. It's they're fighting at the Wells Fargo Arena here. But Tyson,
Wells Fargo,
yeah, it was called something else then. I think it was called the State Farm Arena, something like that. This is the biggest fight at the first ever fight at the Wells Fargo Arena where the 76ers and the Flyers play. So there hasn't been a fight this big in this town in a long time. So this is a big deal right here.
Yeah, and Philadelphia still is that. It's a
boxing
prototype of a boxing city. I mean, it's got boxing. If you cut Philadelphia all the way down the middle, you'd find more and more boxing. That's the way we've been raised to believe. I've got to be honest with you, Terrance. I've only been there once for I swear I was there less than an hour.
Oh, wow.
We were coming from Atlantic City for the Boxing Hall of Fame, and my friend Iceman John Scully and Michael Sukalajade, he said we've got to go to Philly and get a cheesesteak. We've got to go to Pat's Steaks and get a cheesesteak. And the Silk wasn't keen. The Silk was tired and hungry, and he said, "Are we really going all the way to Philly to go just get some dinner?"
Yeah, cheesesteak.
But we did, and the cheesesteaks were great. I want to try Gino's. What's better, Gino's or Pat's Steaks? Which one's better?
No, whoa, stop that shit. Neither one of those. You listen. I don't know. Listen, everybody in Philly be like, what is that all about? Everybody from all across the world come here and think that Pat's and Gino's, they don't have the best cheesesteaks is either at Jim's or at Joe's. When you come, I'm gonna take you. Here's what I'm gonna do. When you come, Ben, I'm gonna take you to those two you just mentioned. Then I'm gonna take you to this one, and you tell me.
Yeah, I got to spend some more time in Philly because I want to see the gyms. I want to see. Everybody wants to run up those steps, right, Gary? Everybody wants to run up those rocky steps.
Everybody runs the steps when they come here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Terrance, because I know a lot of the viewers will have seen you. You're one of the most colourful men I've seen in boxing. You brought a lot of colour to the game, which is always fantastic.
I'm trying, man.
No, it's beautiful. It's like I'm so bored with the usual bullshit that we see. It's nice to have someone come in with their own thing, and this.
Yeah.
I think you're the first of your kind. Because why shouldn't you have that color in the fight game? The fight game is about personalities, and I think
that's right
all the way through. From the people who announce to the people who I mean, I think it's only great. As we know these days now, it's an.
So he's going a bit frozen.
It's show business, and
it's show business. That's right. That's the word, show business.
But let me ask you, Terrance, what show business, and so what? But what was your first connection with boxing?
Oh well, I used to kickbox back in the day when I was younger. Actually, I had like 9 fights, and I won all 9 fights, and my shoulder. Because what happens? I played football, and my shoulder never really totally healed. I actually walked on for the Atlanta Falcons. I played for the Falcons in the preseason, tore my shoulder up, never got a chance to play on the regular season, and they were in the process of signing me to a contract. But it was my shoulder, so that's what got me into boxing the first time. But ever since then, all of my friends from Mighty Mouse, when Mighty Mouse fought Arturo Gatti, I was at those fights. I went to a fight with him and
show, we had Ivan Robertson.
Yeah. He was. We just him and King just left each other. We were all standing outside just now. Because today I had to meet with Diamante, and I met with Eddie Hearn today because I'm trying to get over there, fellas. I want to drop that time to Brawl at Wembley Stadium for that Anthony Joshua, bro.
I'm gonna push this one and see if we can get. Let's get Terrance over here. With no disrespect to David Diamante, who's a lovely fellow, or anybody else. Let's try and break Terrance over here. I want to see him at Wembley too. Gallagher's singing that night too.
Yeah, and here's the good thing. I'm not a ring announcer. All I do, I get in there and I do my hype, my pre-fight. Matter of fact, all the ring announcers are cool. I'm cool with all the ring announcers because they love that I set it up. But they set me up and then I set them up to go ahead and do their thing. So I'm cool with all of them.
Job. You're just augmenting.
Exactly. I'm not taking nobody. I'm not in this to take nobody's job. Like you just said, Stretch. I've created my own lane with this. You know what I'm saying? I've created my own lane, and I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to be on about 2 or 3 national shows. I did the Breakfast Club when I had my first film out, Jason's Letter with Vivica Fox. I'm about to go back on the Breakfast Club again, which is international, and I'm going to do Sway in the Morning. And my PR person is scheduling right now to get me on Good Morning America sometime in late August. I'm going to do Good Morning America. So this thing is starting to take on a life of its own.
Yeah, because and what is great for you is there's nobody else like you. So
there's nobody else doing it. Yeah.
there is a place for this, and I think you've made your lane. It's just now finding where to put the lane with all of the others, because there's space for it. There's fun. In people now. The audience has changed so much. It's a different crowd. That we got young kids. We got music. I mean, it's so diversified.
Well, that's the thing you said. Like Liam Gallagher will be singing at the Joshua Dubois thing in Wembley, on September 21st. And I think if you look at the Saudi shows with Fury versus Ngannou, Joshua versus Ngannou, and the Day of Reckoning and such, they had all these music performers there too, didn't they? I mean, some people probably think that's diluting it and we only want boxing, but I mean, I imagine you think it's a good thing, Terrance, to cross-pollinate with the entertainment industry.
Yeah, you have to though, because boxing is entertainment and people just want something new and something different. And that's kind of why people, I think, are gravitating towards what I'm doing. Now, all of these fighters have given me drops. Jared Hurd, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. I mean, all these people. I'm going to start posting all these different drops. And tomorrow, I'm going to get some more drops at the fight tomorrow. So they love it because the fighters love it. I mean, Dylan Price, he's going to fight for a title soon. Dylan Price has been posting my he's been posting my channel on his page like crazy. So
let me tell you, because you know what, Ben, there's a real lane here, because it's like you see the fights and then one fight ends and there's like sometimes 20 minutes between fights, and you got to catch who can entertain the audience. They come in, they pick it up, and then he does his thing. Everyone has a bit of fun, and then David Diamante, whoever comes in and announces the next fight, the fight ends. Your guy goes in again and he has 10, 15 minutes of fun. I mean, there's definitely a lane for this,
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, though, Stretch. Exactly. And here's the thing, Stretch. When I did Ponytail Promotions down in Baltimore, oh my God, that was one of the best ones I did so far. He actually had me do the beginning, the middle, and the main event. So because he loved what I did, he said, I need you to do the beginning of the fight, hype the crowd, and do the middle, come back again in the middle, and then do the main event. So a promoter out of Detroit just called me. He wants me to do the same thing. I had do something for the beginning, the middle, as well as the main event. So what I'm doing is kind of evolving, to be honest with you. So you're kind of right about that.
Yeah.
So I want to say, by the way, the Silk's here, right? You can. 1 second.
Sorry, Ben.
The Silk's here, right? I've had to mute him because he's got that all fucked up audio again. And every time I put it on. So can we sort it out, please, Silk? I'm not trying to gag you. I'm not trying to deny you a platform and audience. All I'm saying is, can we stop all that feedback? I've unmuted you. How's it going? How is yours?
Good. How's it going there?
You sound beautiful and unfettered. You can stay. Thank you.
Let me tell you, Silk.
Yes, sir.
Silk, I have to tell you, I've had some private DMs all week about you.
Oh, really? Well, we need to talk
and
about that.
Every one of them kept saying, "Gary, I have to meet Silk. He's got the most beautiful smile."
Oh man,
I've got that. I got one. One of my good female friends said, "Who is Mr. Vivian Westwood Pirate Man, and why am I not his wife?"
Yes.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
That's heavy.
Okay,
that's heavy.
You know what, you guys? I would love to talk about me more, but we have my man Terrance.
Thank you.
Yes,
Terrance on here.
As always.
And let me just say one thing. Let me one thing, Ben. Terrance, it's a real pleasure. There's normally
same here
and Stretch, but I think it's better for the audience if I
let's talk have a go.
Let you two have a go, and I'll sit and watch. And thank you again for coming on.
Cheers, Gary. We'll see you Sunday. Yes.
Thanks, Gary.
For sure.
Thanks, man.
All right, Stretch.
Tag team.
For sure.
Terrance, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good. So, hey, so you the ladies' man on this thing, huh?
You know, I'm just finding that out. But I'm just finding out for the first time.
Oh man, hey, listen, I ain't looking for no trouble. I ain't coming for your title. I ain't looking for no trouble.
I just tell him, at this time we got to talk about you, but after that, you can tell me, let me know everything after this.
Well, yeah. I just like I said, Ben, like I said, I come from the music and the movies and stuff like that. I did the film Jason's Letter with Vivica Fox. The big guy Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, and I did the movie When George Got Murdered with Montel Williams and Beanie Siegel, and I have a new film called Abused that'll be on Netflix sometime in October. So, but I'm just having fun with this boxing stuff right now, man. We're doing 2 boxing films, and the Bowie Fischer story. We're going to get back to that at some point, and also we just like I told you, I don't know if you heard it, but we acquired the rights to the Let's Do It Again, the boxing movie from 1974 with Bill Cosby, Sidney 48, and Richard Pryor. So
and Silk. Terrance, our man is looking to be cast in too, so we're going to put ourselves in the mix for this. Okay,
man. Listen, hey, y'all family now. Hey, listen, y'all family. So listen, if I don't have y'all in the movie, then there's something wrong somewhere. Now y'all family now. So.
You heard him.
But you know what though? I'm not I wish I could act. I wish I had that kind of presence in front on the TV, but.
You could do a good Muhammad Ali impression. We've had that on the show before now.
I don't think they're gonna look for a.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Give it to me. Hey, give it to me, Sil.
He was good. Do you feel like doing it?
Let me see. Clay comes out to meet Liston, and Liston starts to retreat. If Liston backs up an inch further, he'll end up in a ringside seat. Clay swings to his left. Clay swings to his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight. Anyway, you know how it goes. But
yes, sir.
You gotta have the look, the mannerisms. Acting is more than just talking it. I understand. I recently did something on Apple TV, and it was absolutely humbling. I mean,
nice.
You know what I mean? Like acting is absolutely a different beast altogether, and what they're able to do, they transport themselves. Like it's your real personality, yet you embody this other person, and I don't know. It's a lot of complexities that I just can't.
I think it is a lot harder, because I've done a few movies, little bit parts and stuff, or talking parts, and I always, unfortunately, my limitation is I try to say something the way I would say it, and it's like I haven't managed to get out of that, and I'm too locked into this kind of one expression hard man thing, which is doesn't show the greatest of ranges. You know what I mean? I think I'd have to be a lot more freer with myself in order to be really any good at it, but I'm okay as long as you've got a very narrow expectation of what I'm
saying. Let me ask you this, Ben. Will you be able to retain dialogue if we give you? I mean, not a long script, but we give you a script.
I'm brilliant at remembering stuff. I mean, they gave me.
Cool. Okay.
I was in one movie once, right, and I had to pretend to take these drugs that really tripped me out because someone gave me this powder. I'm the bouncer. I'm the heavy, right? It was kind of like a joke Guy Ritchie kind of thing, yeah. I'm playing the tough guy and the security, the bouncer, the minder. But then somebody spikes me with this powder, and then they say to me, "What's it like?" Or they make me taste it. And they gave me this line that they said none of the other actors could remember, but I had to say something along the lines of, and I've not said it for 10 years or 12 years, the movie was, I said pineapples, corniform, conquadrate pineapples, leaping ever spacewards in reasonless, graceful, hieroglyphical morphologies. And I did it in one take, and they said, "You nailed it." So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so wait. Somebody wrote that for you to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote it. Yeah, and the joke was the big guy with the broken nose, who's the heavy. It comes out with this verbosity when you give him the angel dust or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know?
His recall is just insane. I mean, he remembers the most like minute details of a fight that was in 1924 or something like that.
I was just telling him about the MC and Joe Lewis fights before you got
here.
Yeah.
So you said I would be able to just hand you a nice size script and you'll be okay with it?
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A lot of these guys, they think they're actors, but they cannot retain dialogue.
Yeah,
that's one thing I could do for sure. I sometimes feel I'm a bit typecast and a bit wooden because I tend to play. I get cast as a guy that's usually a boxer or a thug of some sort. That's the way I've been.
But here's what you do, Terrance. Here's what you do. Call Ben, and if it's a part where he has to do like a romantic scene or something, I'm good with that. So I'll body double for him with the
you the body double.
Nobody's gonna notice too.
For the intimacy thing, I'll do that. And then he can, and as soon as he starts talking, like if he starts moaning and stuff in bed, flash it to Ben. But when it comes to the action, I'll be in there.
100% silk. Gary says, in regard to acting, they say it takes 20 years to learn to do nothing. That is the key to
it. Gary's amazing now. That's a guy. Yeah, that's a guy.
Hey, listen.
Gary's a good actor, by the way. Gary has a track record. He was in a bunch of films, but he was most critically acclaimed for a movie called Dead Man's Shoes, an independent movie.
Nice.
Struck a chord. Yeah. It's iconic.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Gary. Feel free to send me your reel and your stuff. I'm always looking for new faces, man. I have we're doing a huge project for Hulu. That's my next big project. It's called We Stand Up. We start shooting that sometime in December. So I should have the remake of the Let's Do It Again film. We should have that out the way, and I should have the Bowie Fisher out of the way. If not, I'll start the Bowie Fisher next year. But Gary, feel free to send me if you want to, Ben, drop my email information or they can follow me on social media. Feel free to send me. I'm always looking for new face.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's the one.
I would like to. We were talking about Ennis before you got here, by the way. Ennis versus Avanesyan tomorrow night at the Wells Fargo Centre in Philly. Yeah. We essentially, because we got this little competition that's ongoing, Terrance, where we predict the winners of big fights, and then we see how.
Okay.
And I'm winning right now by a lot.
Silk is winning, and that is absolutely paramount. We mentioned that because that's, like I say, he don't have much other reason to feel good about himself. This looks like it's Gary wanting to come back. Yeah, here's Gary wanting to come back. But
Terrance.
We're all picking Jaron Boots Ennis, right? You're not going to deviate from that particular stream, are you, Silk?
Well, this is the kid that fought. Who did he fight? He fought.
Crawford.
He fought Crawford for the title. Yeah. He got dropped, knocked out with the uppercut. Was it?
He lasted a while in that fight, though.
Yeah. That was a good
6
fight.
rounds.
It was
6
a good
rounds.
fight.
See, Gary's come sideways like me. You guys are straight up kind of guys. They're straight up silky people. We're sideways, Gary.
I don't want y'all to see all these damn clothes I got behind me. That's why.
But Terrance, it's interesting because I didn't know as much. You're doing as much in film as I'm in Bulgaria currently now. I just finished the movie with Mickey Rourke.
Oh wow!
That I produced.
Nice.
We got so many projects that we put together at the minute. So it'd be very interesting. We could chat on a different.
Yeah, without question.
Yeah, some great stuff going on. Yeah. So
I did a promo. I did a PR promo with Mickey Rourke. When he was he had a sponsor. I think it was an energy drink or something. I did a promo. I was one of the assistant directors on that promo that they did for him.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
That was like about maybe like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this message, Ben?
He said, Sarge says, I watched Dead Man's Shoes last night, and all the critics are very positive of it, even 20 years later.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Nothing you don't know already, Gary. Essentially, that I mean, it was a good choice that you took to do that movie. We've spoke about it before. Do you know what the funny thing is? Our most watched video on this channel, Sugar, Silk and Stretch, is still Gary talking about Dead Man's Shoes for 3 minutes. That has more views than any of our other videos at the moment. So.
Oh wow! Get out of here! Oh, that's what's up.
You know what's funny, Terrance? I did Alexander, Oliver Stone. I've done 3 Oliver Stone movies, but I did Alexander as one of the leads in that.
Get out of here!
And it was just, $200 million movie. And then the next film was Dead Man's Shoes, which was a tiny movie. And they offered me tiny money. And everyone said, you can't do it. You can't do it. You're as good as your last movie. You can't get hired for a lot of money and then do it for nothing. And I said, no, I want to do it. And I did it. And it ended up much more bigger things than for my career. So you just got to follow your gut, Yeah. But let's get back to Terrance.
But listen, hold
before you. One of your dynamic questions for Terrance.
Hey, before you say something first. Hey, before you spin off, I tell people that. Let me stop this guy from calling. I tell that listen, the smallest budget movies sometimes outshine these big blockbusters. Listen, a lot of this shit is crazy, man, because they put all this money in these movies and they think it's going to be successful. Then you might end up spending a movie where you spend $1 million on maybe $700,000, and that movie just launch your career into the stratosphere. I tell actors that all the time: do not turn down parts just because they don't got a big budget.
No, we did. Alexander worked at it 9 months. It was a $200 million movie. Plus, at the time, it was the biggest movie ever. Dead Man's Shoes was $750,000. Bunch of guys. I got nominated for the film, Best Supporting Actor. I got, my career went, and it's still talked about film. And I had to, literally fight with people because I said, I want to do the movie. No, you got to do biggest. I said, I don't want to do biggest. I want to do this movie. And I'm so proud that I did it because it was, and it probably may be one of the most iconic movies I ever do. So
at what point is $750,000 not a lot of money? That's what I wanted.
The movie business.
Hey, but listen, in the film game,
we're not making a cheeseburger, so we're making a movie.
That's right. But in the film game stretch, I mean, Silk, in the film game, man, that's not a lot of money to do a movie.
No, it's not. Yeah, I worked on Ali with Will Smith, and Michael Mann had that budget, and it was insane.
Yeah, they had a sick budget for that.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with movies are now? You know what? I tell you what's changed the movie industry a lot is COVID, because when COVID came around, they, the movie business shut down, and then they started doing movies, but they had limited skeleton crews because as few people as possible. And they soon learned that you can make the same movie for half the crew, because there's the assistant, and the assistant's got an assistant, and they're got a fucking assistant. It's like it's so ridiculous the money they spend.
Yeah, it happens in every profession. COVID told the truth about a lot of professions.
Yeah, and what actually needed to happen, and what was just peripheral and
exactly
excessive. Yes, yeah.
Well, I just did the film I have out now. When George got murdered, starring Montel Williams and Benny Siegel, and Donnie Most is in it. He played Donnie. You remember Donnie Most? He played Ralph Malph on Happy Days. He's in it.
Yeah,
he plays.
Wow.
Yeah, he plays the main. He plays the main guard in my movie, the prison guard. But I'm so disappointed in that movie. It's like it's not my best work, because we shot it during COVID, and oh my God, we kept losing DPs. We was losing camera people. We were losing lighting people. Yeah. Oh my God! Oh my God! That COVID, like trying to make a movie during COVID was like pulling teeth with your finger.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah. So I wanted to actually talk to you more about how did you get into? You may have already done this. How did you get into the fights?
Oh, the boxing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh! I just told a story.
Terrance, when you said you started kickboxing, my interest, I'm sure Silk's the same, and I know the audience will. I understand you come from a kickbox, but what got you to walk into a kickboxing gym? What got you walking in the door to fight?
Oh, for the kickboxing?
Like, why did you think I want to fight? Like, what was that? Kid? Did you have a rough? Like, what got you into a fight gym? Because it's not everybody walking into a fight gym.
Oh, well, back then, I mean, everybody was like you had to fight all the time because everybody was always bullying each other back in the 80s, back in the 80s when I was, late 80s. I mean, like everybody was bullying you as a kid, so you always had to fight. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start boxing. And then when I got there, one of the guys said, he said, I like how you jump really high. He said you would do well doing kickboxing. So I started kickboxing. And before I knew it, I started training more and more. And then I had a few fights I won, and then they put me in a few other ones, and I kept winning. And before I knew it, I was heavy into it. But my shoulder would always take a lot of pain because from playing football. So, and before I knew it, I couldn't really do it anymore. Just like I couldn't do football anymore because my left, like this shoulder right here, was just like it was just too damaged. But what got me there was just having to fight, just fight your way through life, and just growing up in the streets and things like that.
And what was the crossover into show business?
Oh, what happened was I was like, by me being a singer, I was putting records out independently at the same time, and I put a few records out. They did really, really well, and I got signed by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers signed me to a huge contract. Yeah. But they gave me $225,000 signing bonus. Gave me $375,000 to do my album, and never put one damn record on them. So it affected me. It made me not want to sing anymore. It just really it zapped my love to want to sing. And then I started. I said, well, I got to do something. I started doing TV shows and things like that. And I did a TV show called The Players Club. And what happened was the show was on TV. We used to come on Saturdays at the Soul Train. And Ice Cube, his people contacted me that they were doing a movie. He kind of like Ice Cube kind of played me because his people was trying to buy the rights for that name because I had a trademark as a TV show, but his first movie was called The Players Club, and he came to me. He ended up buying the name from me for his first movie, The Players Club. But that's what brought me into it, doing the TV shows and things like that. And before I knew it, I was by me drifting away from music, I started doing TV shows. And I did a couple other shows that I was in negotiation with a bunch of major networks that never went through. And then I just started doing the movie stuff. And I did a movie called Touched. I never put it out. And then before I knew it, I did the Jason's Letter film. We brought Vivica Fox on. My friend Joe Ganascoli, he played Vito on The Sopranos. He's one of the cast members. Oh, Michael Paré from Eddie and the Cruisers. He's in Jason's Letter. So we got a nice cast for that movie. And that's what brought me into it. I've been doing the movie stuff ever since then.
And I love that you've crossed over now, movies into boxing, entertainment to boxing, which is a lot of fun. On that note, I'm going to let the boys take over because I want Silk to get his questions and Ben. So I'll get back to watching, but we'll keep in touch, brother. All the best.
Oh yeah. Most definitely stress for sure.
Absolutely. Ben, God bless. Silk, do your thing. I want to hear your questions, Silk. I love your questions.
Right, brother. Love you, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
I'm sorry, Silk, but yeah, how I got into the boxing stuff, like I told Ben earlier, George Hansen, who's, man, this guy has been like a dream come true to me, man.
George, right, Silk? You know,
George, yes,
the boxing writer.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yes. Okay,
the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece.
Okay. So mouthpiece, yeah.
He calls it. Well, he's actually I should know. What's his handle? Don't tell me what he calls himself. Keep talking. I'll tell you what he calls himself in a minute. Keep going, Terrance.
Oh, no. So what George brought me on and took me to the Golden Gloves to a couple of their matches, and I saw that I wanted to be a benefit to them because I saw that all those guys was doing it, and none of them were getting paid. So I said, George, let me help out doing something. He said, well, they have the 300-year anniversary. 2023 was a 300-year anniversary of the Golden Gloves. Okay. So I said, let me do it. I did the ad for them. And we submitted to Mr. Russo. You know, he runs the Golden Glove nationally, and he loved it. But before I sent it, George and everybody said, "Oh, I had the Let's Get Ready to Rumble in there," and he said, "No, you gotta take that out. That's a huge trademark." So we took it out, but I needed to fill the space, and I filled the space with a song that me and my son did, and it was called "It's Time to Ball." I changed it to "It's Time to Brawl," and I added the "y'all." Before you knew it, I was doing "It's Time to Brawl, y'all." And George has started between George, Renee Aiken, and now Lamont Roach and his people, and Discombobulating Jones, who's the ring announcer down in the DMV for like the past 36 years. These guys been tying me into a bunch of matches, and now I got a bunch of fights I'm doing. I'm gonna do a huge MMA fight in Los Angeles sometime in September. So that's how I got into it. So, and I'm becoming like a staple of it.
So when you came out with that, It's Time to Brawl, y'all. Did you feel the energy of the crowd there, like right away? Did you know you had something? You knew you had something before you actually did the announcement, right?
It's funny, right, that you say that, though, Silk, because I did it at the Golden Gloves, and they just reacted like crazy to it.
Yeah.
They even like they even said when I said it's time to brawl, y'all. The crowd even said brawl, y'all.
Yeah.
But so I was like, wow, and this is at the Golden Gloves, but to be honest with you, though, Silk, I didn't really like George. Like, if it wasn't for George, I wouldn't be doing this because he said, "Man, you need to do this. You need to go ahead and trademark this and do it." at the time I didn't know because all I had was the Brawl, y'all. But like I told Ben earlier, I had to customize it to get it up to where it is now because George had scheduled me. George scheduled me to do it at one of Mighty Mouse fights, because he had a bunch of amateur fighters, and he also had me on a card for Pivot Boxing Gym, and I didn't even show up. I didn't even show up because I didn't really know how I wanted to do it. But he kept pushing it. He pushed the issue, and he got me on the big fight for Teflon with they had a bunch of big fighters on there, and I did it for the first time, and now I'm up to my 11th fight. So my next fight. With next weekend on Danny Gar. This is the second Danny Garcia card I'm doing. That's gonna be my 12th fight, and I got a bunch of other ones coming up too. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah. So your trademark is gonna go wide. Like you're obviously your trademark. You're like let's get ready to rumble Michael Buffer.
I had to trademark it. Yeah, I had to trademark because I want to do more things with it. So I had to trademark it. So I want to do more things with it at some point.
Now also because.
The thing about Buffer is he is much wealthier than most of the fighters he ever announces. It's been really that kind of a success for him, the whole thing.
But Ben, it's because of that. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, it's the trademark and that handle that has made such a it's made a massive career for him. He's almost giving him generational wealth almost.
Yeah,
no, it really has.
I got to tell you guys this. Here's the thing. Now, remember, I told you George has set it up for me to do those fights, and I didn't even show up because I didn't know how I wanted to do the Brawl. I wasn't even sure. But George sent me the article of how Michael Buffer has grossed over $400 million off of it, and that's what got me off my ass.
Let's be a bit enterprising here. And I just remember his handle is the Pope of Pugilism. Pope of Pugilism, It's the Pope of Pugilism. That's what he calls himself, and we call him that too.
And that's crazy how that all came from Ali's saying, right?
Rumble in
the jungle.
Rumble in the jungle. Yep.
Yeah.
First it was Rumble, young man, Rumble. Rumble, young man, Rumble.
That was Ali and Bundini.
Bundini.
Yep. And then eventually, and another interesting saying is, "Let's go, champ."
I can't stand that one.
What?
Who said that?
Shannon Briggs. I can't stand that Silk, that Codra. It's a washed-up heavyweight who's found a little slogan that appeals to the completely dumbed down, IQ of a generation. I cannot stand that nonsense.
You're openly, blatantly insulting me now. This is new, Ben. This is new. Our friendship is going to a new level.
I'm not saying you're a washed-up ex-pugilist.
Well, I am an ex-pugilist who doesn't fight anymore, so I guess that would make me watch.
Shannon Briggs wasn't relevant except for that slogan. I can't go for that. What Terrance
How
does,
can you say he wasn't relevant? He won a portion of the title, the heavyweight title, didn't he?
But it was years after that, and he came back into public consciousness and some kind of social media acclaim because he kept saying, "Let's go, champ!" And every moron and his brother were yelling, "Let's go, champ!" I cannot stand it. It is lowbrow as hell. Get me away from it, and God save me.
No. It's you know what? It's got a really good energy to it. And the way he says it with the attitude he carries with it, like he does it in front of anyone, Klitschko, Tyson, whatever. He'll bring it. You know what I mean? I like that energy.
I'm somewhat disappointed for someone as cerebral as yourself to say that, but honestly, that's one of my pet hates. People have given me Shannon Briggs' number before and said, "Give him a call, try and do an interview." He's in London. I've deliberately forgone it because I'm that slogan.
Okay.
So guess what?
Hey Ben, you throwing a lot of shade.
Terrance, check it out. We're going to be at the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame coming up. I hope you're there too.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna reintroduce Ben to Shannon Briggs.
You know what? The trouble is, I'm going to tell Terrance this too, because you've seen this in real life, Silk. You've seen this in real time. I had a downer on Vinny Paz too. I had a downer on Vinny Paz because of his ×5 thing. He wasn't a 5-time world champion. He was a 2-time world champion. They could count him. But because he kept saying ×5 and he had the tattoo and all the brand. I hate that branding. I hate that. Goebbels. Tell a lie often enough and it is believed. That's what we're talking about here. So anyway, I had a bit of a down on Vinny Paz. But obviously I met him.
After you met him,
we got on like a house on fire. I love him.
Yeah.
I know that Shannon will be the same thing.
Hey Ben, I was looking at your top 5 with the Benitez thing. Are you right on point with that?
Yeah, with the Benitez thing.
What,
Yeah, because I
what
wrote
was
a
the
biography
Benitez
of
thing?
Benitez.
Oh yeah.
I wrote. I think I got a copy here somewhere. It's
He because they kept saying the top 4 and Ben and
yeah,
there it is.
that's
I
my
was looking.
Benitez book. That's the hardback version. That's the
Yeah.
only existing biography of Wilfred Benitez.
Yeah,
One of Puerto Rico's greatest fighters. So yeah, I think he is the 5th king. I mean, some people call Iran Barkley the 5th king, who obviously Michael is acquainted with inside the ring and out. But you would agree that Benitez has a greater license for that claim, right, Silk?
Yeah, I really believe so. I mean, coming up from the
Thank
junior
you.
welterweight to welterweight, junior middleweight, he was what a crazy story, what a crazy life. And to think one of the most hardest to hit fighters is now suffering from that type of dementia and brain injuries that, whereas he needs help to sustain. That's
He does need
absolutely
help.
crazy. I mean, he was one of the best defensive fighters of all
But
time.
he got hit a whole lot, though, Silk. He had a lot of wars, and he got hit a whole lot.
The thing is that, and it really sparked, I believe, from his training and from his relationship with his father, and the fact that he would when he got into spar, he'd spar with animals as well, and they're all looking to make a name for themselves every time they get in the ring with him. And Wilfredo isn't the kind of personality that's coming
somebody
into
said that Blade the 6th king. Who's that?
Iran the Blade Barkley.
Oh,
yeah,
Barkley. Okay.
They call him the Blade.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Joe said Blade is the 6th king.
Yeah. He just said the 6th king.
We also had this comment from Sean, who said Briggs is being admitted to the Boxing Hall of Shame. Yeah, he's making a joke about what I said. Keep going, sir. That's a joke. I was about to say no, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Then I saw what he said.
Hey, y'all throwing a lot of shade on this thing, bro.
Hey,
well, I'm passionate about boxing. Okay, I mean the thing is, the Shannon Briggs thing did get on my nerves. Mainly, I don't know what it was like in the States, but in Britain, all these people were saying it. I don't like anything that everybody starts singing from the same hymn sheet.
sure,
I'm
yeah.
just not wired that way.
Yeah,
Neither are you wired that way, Silk. But
yeah,
you
no, I
obviously got a bit
absolutely
more.
get it.
Yeah, you get it. Right, thank you.
I mean, I just think ultimately he got in the ring. What he beat George Foreman.
Do you know what? He beat George Foreman. Everybody says Foreman was robbed, didn't they? People did say that, but yeah, he beat him. Yeah, he got the decision.
You think George actually won that fight?
Do you know what? I can't remember it too intimately now, the round by round, Terrance. But I am aware there was controversy. And
it was controversial. It was very controversial.
But George got a few squeezes towards the end of his career anyway, when he was clinging on to the kind of lineal status as heavyweight champ, but nobody really believed it anymore. He struggled with a couple of guys, Crawford Grimsley and Axel Schultz, and both of those could have been adjudged a little bit unfortunate not to have got the decision over George at the time. But no, Gary Stretch is Gary. Gary's still watching it. Look, he's still watching the show, and like a fan, he's trolling me. He's like, "Come on, Ben, let's go, champ." I mean, he's got nothing better to do, like
trolling you.
like that of his credentials, and all he wants to do is heckle me on a Friday night.
He over there trolling you all crazy.
Yeah. He's doing it from the safety of a keyboard now. He's not on the show. He's just firing missiles at us.
Ben's one of the most trollable individuals you'll ever meet.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you love trolling Ben because you get the reaction that you want, and he's passionate about it. He's knowledgeable, obviously, but he's also passionate about it.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get. It's easy to get his last nerve. Like sometimes you talk to Ben and he's like eloquent and passive, and next time you talk to him, he's like Yosemite Sam. The English version of Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, I remember when you said. I remember in the early days of the show, Silk, when you said you can be a very bellicose individual. I never thought you were like that. That's what you said in the early days.
Yeah.
He just called that man the English version of Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, you get it all on this show. You get it all, But
wow. That's heavy. That's heavy right there, bro.
You remember Yosemite? He his patience is like this long. He's shooting.
He was. He pulled that thing out fast on you.
Rootin' tootin', highfalutin.
Hey, Ben. Let me ask you a question, Ben. So when you guys come to the States for the Hall of Fame, how long you guys gonna be here?
Well, I'm aiming to go for like 3 days in New York beforehand. It's the 27th to the 29th of September. So I think I was postulating maybe the something like the 23rd or 24th until the 1st or the 2nd of October. So just to give myself a few days either side, yeah? So we're definitely... Do you live in Philadelphia, yeah?
Well, I live in Delaware, but it's right up the road. I live in Delaware.
Yeah, which is where Michael Spinks was living.
Delaware.
So you, yeah.
I was gonna say, what's the Philly fight scene like? Is there anything like exciting coming up besides, is there anything percolating on the bottom that you think is good that yet people haven't seen yet that they're gonna like?
What's the kid that's on there? Bernard's son. Oh my God, his son is this guy is getting ready to be that next oh my God, I forgot his name.
But there's a kid called Abdullah Mason who's making.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mason. Yeah. He's another one that's bubbling. But it's the young kid. They're gonna kill me. I forgot his son's name. He's fighting on that card with Boots tomorrow.
Okay, let me have a look. I'll find it for you.
Ishmael.
Okay, here it comes.
Ishmael.
Sky Nicholson's on the bill as well. The female Aussie.
Oh yeah, Sky. Yeah, Sky. Yeah, the girl. She's on there.
Yeah, Sky Nicholson on. Ismail Muhammad is fighting.
No, not him. But yeah, he's on there. But who's the
Dennis Thompson.
No,
Jeff Major.
There's more than one.
Jaleel Major Hackett.
Hackett. There you go. Yeah, Jaleel Hackett. Yeah.
Jaleel Hackett.
Hey, listen, that young kid right there. Remember that guy's name? I'm gonna tell you right now. He's gonna be a problem.
What weight is he?
I think he weighed in today. I think he came in at like 130, 135. I think he came in at 135, something like that.
Yeah.
What
do you like about him?
Oh my God, everything. This guy got the punching power, the speed. He got that attitude. You know what else he do? He got that attitude that you like, that can sell fights.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys don't realize, man. Like me and Ben was talking earlier. This shit is entertainment, bro. You gotta be flashy. That's why people like Floyd was always like in the mix, because he was winning, but he was awkward. He was always running his mouth. He kept it entertaining.
And there was a contrast, Terrance, between his not particularly exciting ring style. He was a genius, but you had to understand boxing to appreciate that. So
exactly,
he didn't have a great style for crossover fans, mainstream fans particularly. But because of his brash persona and his money kind of branding, which worked very well for him, it became iconic. That's what made him a big pay-per-view attraction, because it was about the way he walked, his particular walk.
The way he carried himself. The way he talked, the way he carried because everything is about persona. Because you said it earlier, so everything now is about really being brash and entertaining and doing something different. Because like you said, it's starting to get really stale. So I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating towards what I'm doing, because I'm just trying to bring something new. And the good thing about it is that I got access to a lot of media. A lot of these fighters and promoters are going to start to realize that I'm probably going to go out and sell some of these fights better than they are.
Yeah.
Like the ones that I'm on, I'm about to start doing a lot more media to sell these fights. So I'm going to help them sell their fights.
So you're actually bigging up the event before the actual process of getting in and doing your turn. You're going to help get that out there.
Exactly. So because I'm getting my brand out there, but I'm also promoting your fight and your card. So and a lot of them are going to start to realize that, like I've already done most of the bigger TV shows and radio shows and internet shows and things like that. And with this It's Time to Brawl, y'all, it's giving me another reason to go back on Sway in the Morning and the Breakfast Club and now this new PR girl I got is going to get me on Good Morning America and things like that. So and it's going to help me promote these fights. So some of these fighters, like one of these guys, are going to realize, oh my God, this guy's going to help us promote our fights along with promoting his brand, his slogan, his chant. So they're going to realize that in a minute.
Yeah. Listen, guys, we're closing in. I know you haven't been here the whole duration, Silk, but we're closing in on the hour, which I need somewhat I need to stick to it tonight because I'm entertaining an old friend. And I said I'm only going to be on here for an hour.
What? How high are the heels?
How high are the what?
Heels.
So
heels. How high?
You said how high are the heels?
Okay.
He said he's entertaining a friend. You don't.
Yeah.
They all I can't do it.
We can't see that.
You can say hello after the show. We always have a little backstage debrief, right? Okay.
Okay.
You can say hello after the show, and then But yeah, she is female. Well, as most she's would be. But
Yeah.
But to be honest, any romantic thing between us is confined to history. She's an ex-girlfriend. You know, do you ever stay good friends with some of your exes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So well, I do, and one of them's here tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a beautiful thing.
You're saying she friend zoned you.
Say again.
She friend zoned you.
Yeah.
He said she friend zoned. He said she friend zoned you.
Is that what happened?
Well, I guess at some point. I mean, you know, I think that's the way it went. The amazing thing is Gary saying something about Floyd, by the way. He says the amazing thing about Floyd was love him or hate him, but no one could beat him. A genius fighter. Well,
yeah,
that's another debate in itself.
Yeah, we're gonna go at that, right, Ben?
We're not leaving it there, are we, Silk? We're not going to leave it there. You know,
no, we're not gonna leave it there.
In closing, I'd like to, because this was asked by one of the viewers. Sid Bogle said, "Ask Terrance about Fury versus Usyk." Now he didn't specify is he asking for his thoughts on a rematch and how that'll go, or whether he wants to talk about the fight that was. So I'm going to let Terrance, in closing the show tonight, interpret the question however he wants to, and talk about Fury versus Usyk.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. That's a fight. I mean, listen. It's certain fights, man, that you gotta really you gotta love, man. And that's a fight that is it a rematch or is that the one that's coming up?
The rematch will be on December the 21st.
He's asking about the original one. The first one
was May the 18th. It was May the 18th.
No, I'm saying, is he asking about the first one or the rematch?
It's whatever you want to answer. He didn't specify.
Whichever way I want to do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Just your thoughts on it. He said, "Ask
Oh my God,
Fury Usyk," so I do.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you. Listen. To answer your question, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna give it to you this way. This rematch is probably gonna be one of the best fights you're gonna see in a while. I'm gonna tell you right now, because both of them guys feel like they got something to prove right now. Yeah. Listen, that fight is gonna be a hell of a fight. And okay, I know what's so crazy. I'm glad he brought that up because now I'm gonna try to get on that fight that introduced to chant that fight.
Yeah,
there you go.
Time to brawl again, yo.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm trying to hit the time to brawl y'all on that fight right there. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. So, but if you want my take on it, I don't want to pick nobody on that fight because that's gonna be a hell of a fight, bro. But
what did you think of the first fight?
Say it again.
What did you think of the first fight? I mean, obviously, the controversy was people said that this should have been stopped in the 9th round, really, and the referee held Tyson Fury up. And the other controversy is some people saying it wasn't close at all, and other people said no, that was a real close fight.
The referee saved him in that fight. I don't care what nobody say. The referee saved him because that fight should have been over. The referee saved him. I mean, that's one of those kind of fights that you got to wonder whether somebody was paid. I don't know. I didn't like the way that. I didn't like that. I did not like that.
I don't think it's a reasonable enough comment. No one would have been shocked or astounded or protested had they called it off. It's as simple as that.
They've certainly called stops to fights with less damage. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. And they have done. You know, you've seen some crazy stoppages on occasion. You know, you think where guys. I mean, there's a few instances that might be an interesting thread in itself. Talk about the most premature stoppages. Dokes versus Weaver. Remember back in 1980?
Oh yeah.
So I think it was 81, 82. Dokes versus Weaver, and it was Joey Curtis. The referee was called, and he was getting in a bit of trouble and rocking and rolling on the ropes, and Dokes had that amazing hand speed, and he's throwing all the shots. Yeah. Not all landed, and the next minute the referees waved it off and rescued Weaver, which was no way was he in the trouble Tyson Fury was in, for instance, right?
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna say I know the fight you're talking about, but he wasn't in that kind of trouble though. It wasn't it was nowhere near that. Trust me. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had to lean in this fight, I would have to go with Usyk. You know, if I had to lean, because
repeat or revenge, you say repeat.
Yeah, if you got to lean, because probably just because of the way the last fight went. If you got to lean.
You heard it here first, and I know there's going to be a whole lot of arguing and banter and back and forth between Sugar, Silk, and Stretch until the fight comes around. Hopefully, nothing derails that rematch December 21st. It's been a real pleasure to get you on, Terrance, because you're different. You're a different kind of guest. What are you tapping for, Silk? What are you tapping for?
What am I tapping? What do you mean tapping?
Somebody was tapping like I wanted I'd asked for a drum roll as I close the show out.
I'm always there for you, man. I'm just giving you the accoutrements you need.
God damn it! I say this before, but they say never work with ex-boxers and children. or animals. But listen, Terrance, it's been wonderful to have you on. It's been good to connect. I'm glad that we've had a chance.
Thanks a lot, man.
On the phone, but it's great to talk face to face.
For sure.
Really love what you're doing. I'm really excited about the idea of things we maybe do together, collectively, all of us. And
all of us. Yeah, we all gonna. Yeah.
We're gonna.
But
do
I'm most excited. I'm most excited about your trademark. I hope you take it to the height of heights.
Thanks a lot, man. I mean? Thanks a lot.
Really do something.
We could get one more look
great.
at it if you want, Silk. Do you want to see it one more time?
I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, y'all ready? Let's do it. It's time to brawl, y'all. Let me see, make some noise. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
All right, Tykeem the Dream, thank
On that note, Tykeem the Dream. Thank you so
sir.
much for joining us.
Thank you, Ben.
We'll say goodbye backstage, but as far as the fans are concerned, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. We hope you found our guest interesting tonight. We certainly did.
All your fans, follow me on all my social media, and all you actors and actresses, feel free to send me to DM me your stuff. I'm always looking for new actresses, and I know sometime in late 2025 we're gonna be shooting some stuff over the United Kingdom. So definitely make sure you're on my Rolodex of people so we can know some of the actors and actresses that we'll get when we come over there.
All right, nice one, Terrance. Peace out.
For sure.
All right.